So the government has just gone out and proven that they only care about collecting the biometric data of everybody on the internet, because now the Federal Trade Commission, which is an actual government agency, is encouraging companies to adopt age verification technologies by announcing it will not enforce a children's online privacy law against certain websites that collect and use minors' personal data in order to verify their ages. They will not be punishing people for collecting the data of children as long as it's being done for age verification. Corruption at its finest. So a little bit of backstory here for those of you guys that don't know what the FTC is. They are an independent agency of the United States government whose principal mission is the enforcement of civil antitrust law and the promotion of consumer protection. For those of you guys who have been on YouTube for a while, you guys might remember them for being behind one of the most infamous updates in YouTube history, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, aka COPPA. So 6 years ago, which is crazy to say, some of you guys who are newer to YouTube might have missed this, but there was an update that YouTube made called the COPPA update. This was a huge update that all the bigger YouTubers were talking about, because this is what started the whole thing where YouTubers actually have to mark their videos as either made for kids or not made for kids. All these bigger YouTubers started talking about it. It became a huge deal on the internet, and a lot of people were actually making videos wondering if this is actually going to kill YouTube. From that date forward, in January of 2020, everybody, anytime they make a video, now has to go over here and mark their audience as either made for kids or not made for kids. Now, if you were to mark your audience incorrectly, let's say my video is full of blood and gore, but I mark it as, yes, it's made for kids anyways, the FTC was talking about fining people, including YouTubers, up to the tune of $40,000 for each violation. So every time you label a video wrong on YouTube, you could be fined up to $40,000. So they were a company that based their entire message around, oh, we're trying to save the kids. We're here to protect the kids. This is why we want to make sure you guys label your videos properly. And if you guys don't, we're going to take serious action against you guys. A YouTuber that was almost on the receiving end of this was Narmak. If you guys remember, we talked about Narmak recently, a very famous YouTube animator. He made a series called the SpongeBob SquarePants anime on YouTube, and his video was actually taken down because he did not mark his video as made for kids. He made a SpongeBob SquarePants anime that had a lot of blood and gore in it, so obviously he marked it as not made for kids. Obviously the video is not appropriate for children, but YouTube disagreed and they actually took Narmak's video down because they believed that it was made for kids. So this actually resulted in Narmak having the threat of getting fined $42,000 by the FTC. And so I say all this to say that the FTC is trying to play this whole thing of it's for the kids, it's for the kids. But now in a recent bullshit statement that they've made, now they're going to be saying that they will not be fining people who are doing age verification for collecting the information of children, all those Roblox selfies, all those IDs on Discord and everything like that. They're not going to be punishing those companies and those organizations because they claim that it's for the kids, and that's all done within right reason. I mean, like I said, this is corruption at its finest. One of their representatives or whatever actually made this crazy statement here saying, age verification technologies are some of the most child protective technologies to emerge in decades. Our statement incentivizes operators to use those innovative tools, empowering parents to protect their children online. Yeah, definitely don't just take the phone away from them and do your job as a parent. Instead, they would prefer all these AI facial scans and ID verifications of literal children being handed over to these billion-dollar corporations. This line is so funny to me. Some of the most child protective technologies. Oh yeah, totally, right? Like when Discord got that freaking data breach and those 70,000 IDs were leaked, some of them belonging to children. Yeah, that definitely was really child protective. That really helped the kids out, right? Maybe they'll say, oh, those data leaks don't happen often. It doesn't happen in any other app that has done age verification. Okay, well, what about the T app? Remember when they got their freaking whole age verification thing leaked and a bunch of images, DMs, selfies, IDs, and all of that were leaked and just put on the internet for anyone to see? They really need to get out of here with all that, oh, it's for the kids bullshit, because it's not. We already all know that that's bullshit. But I just find it hilarious and so hypocritical that the people behind the COPPA update, those same people who are trying to like take the high ground and say, you know, it's for the kids, now they don't want to find the companies that are doing age verification because they believe that is correct. That's right. Mass surveillance and collecting the information of little ass kids. Yep, that is totally a perfect way to protect those kiddies, right? They have a rule called the COPPA rule, which requires operators of commercial websites or online services directed to children under 13 and operators with actual knowledge they are collecting personal information from a child to provide notice of their information practices to parents and to obtain verifiable parental consent before collecting, using, or disclosing personal information collected from a child under 13. Interesting, right? So how come Persona, who was Discord's previous third-party vendor for age verification, how come they were exposed for sending all this type of information that they were getting to all these other, quote, trusted third-party verifiable sources or whatever? Persona has already been exposed for sharing all this type of information with all like 300 plus platforms, 28 billion plus data points and all this type of stuff, and marking and flagging individuals for violent tendencies. How come the FTC and the COPPA rule or whatever the fuck they're called, how come that they didn't How come they didn't step in for that? Look at all these persona customers over here. OpenAI, Discord, LinkedIn, DoorDash, Etsy. Why is the FTC not launching investigations into persona or all those companies that were working with persona to make sure that they aren't collecting children's data and using them maliciously? All right, because they don't actually give a shit about the kids. They are in favor of all this data collection. They already know this is a sweet opportunity for them to collect all this biometric data, and they're going to use this whole "it's for the kids" bullshit tired ass argument that we've been hearing over the last few years or so. I am so fed up with all these companies and organizations trying to play this high ground thing of "it's for the kids." Frankly, I'm sick and tired of hearing that phrase because we already all know it's not for the kids, man. This is some bullshit. That really got under my skin because the FTC is sitting back and doing nothing with all these companies that are actually collecting biometric data and having them get, leaked all of a sudden, or they're actually willingly sharing them with other people, and they claim that they're doing everything to make sure that kids are safe on the platform. They say age verification can play a critical role in protecting children online and helping parents as they monitor their children's online activities. No, that's the problem. The parents aren't monitoring the kids' online activities. If they were, they would use the parental controls in their Apple iPhones. They would use parental controls in their routers and browsers to make sure that kids aren't visiting certain websites that they don't want them to go to. The parents are fucking lazy. They don't want to do their jobs. They want the government to hold their hand and walk them through parenthood is mass surveillance, collect everybody's information, watch what everybody does, put everybody on a list. These parents should be fucking ashamed of themselves for giving the government the encouragement to have these laws get passed, because it just keeps getting worse and worse every single day. Discord, Roblox, YouTube, Minecraft, Spotify, Apple. I mean, everything is just going to have age verification soon, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. And you would think the FTC would step in here and be like, hey, actually, this whole mass data collection of children to verify their identities and verify their ages or whatever, this actually isn't right. This is actually mass collection of children's data for pretty much no reason. Nope, the FTC is also going to be kissing the ass of age verification and kissing all these politicians' ass that are actually putting all these age verification laws forward, and give them a pass. I mean, it is just crazy, man. The FTC is not doing their job properly. And like I said, they've already been behind one of the most controversial updates in YouTube history. And also, I was looking through the FTC's stupid ass statement that they made over here, and I didn't see a single mention of how inaccurate age verification is. That is a huge point that should be talked about when we're talking about the AI facial scans of kids being collected and used to verify their ages. You guys have heard me talk about Creekcraft before, a YouTuber, a TikToker who is 29 years old now, actually, getting marked as 13 years old by TikTok's AI facial scans. Keep in mind, Creekcraft is a public figure. His age is public knowledge as well. The AI facial scan age check bullshit system that TikTok was using, and that a lot of these companies are using, actually Discord, Roblox, all of them, those same sophisticated AI facial scan systems that are supposed to be super accurate, mark this 29-year-old man as a 13-year-old child. Those are the AI facial scans that we're going to have to be relying on to properly verify our ages. And there's actually so much data behind this. You guys have seen me show these figures so many times in so many different videos, but the freaking AI facial scans don't even work even when it comes to age estimation. Even getting you within 1 to 2 years of your age is actually usually wrong. 13-year-olds can be marked up as high as 17 to 18 and vice versa. It's not even doing its job in terms of properly marking people in their age range. And the AI facial scans are so easy to bypass anyways. So many people use video games like Death Stranding to bypass the AI facial scan. And yet for the people who are actually posting their pictures on Roblox because they want to play Roblox, and Roblox is just collecting those fucking photos of these children, who knows what they're doing with them, this would have been the time for the FTC to step in and actually do something. But instead, nope, they're just going to kiss Roblox ass. They're going to kiss all these companies' asses. We're against mass collection of children's data, except for when it's age verification. Then you guys get a pass. It's just blatant corruption, man. But yeah, now the government is basically just saying, yep, you know what? We're behind age verification. You guys can do whatever you want. We're not going to try to stop you. And yeah, it's just crazy right now, man. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. The FTC is kissing age verification's ass. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.